Hey everybody, welcome to day 20 of 21 days of fasting and prayer. And my name's Frank DeLeo, pastor here at Trinity Point Church. Thank you for joining me today on this 20th day of the 21 days. We're almost done. But we're just beginning. I want you to know this is not something you should stop because the 21 days of fasting and prayer are over. You should continue to do whatever you're doing that draws you closer to God. Today I want to talk about the desert. Nobody likes it. And if I'm talking about desert, what I mean by that is very simply this. When we feel like we're separated from God, when we feel we're all alone, when there's nobody listening, our prayers seem to not be answered. Our prayers go up, but God is silent. It feels like the desert. I want to talk about that with you today. You know, King David felt that way in his own life when he was being chased by King Saul, who wanted to kill him, his father-in-law, and then also by his own son Absalom, who wanted to take over the kingdom and try to, oust him from the kingdom and have him killed, his own children. That's tough. David speaks to us today from the Psalms, Psalm 63. He says these words, which I so desperately long to hear. God, you are my God. I eagerly seek you. My struggles are big. My life is not answered. My prayers are not being answered. But nevertheless, I seek you. Then verse 1 continues. I thirst for you. There's a desire he has to draw closer to God. Regardless of his circumstances, he's drawn close. My body faints for you in a land that is dry and desolate and without water. Can you see David's angst? Can you hear in his voice that there's nothing there for him? It's an empty place. It's shallow. While he thirsts and hungers, he has no response. But yet his desire is to seek God. Now watch this. Then in verse 3, he proclaims this. My lips will glorify you because your faithful love is better than life. David's mind understands that while he seems to not be getting the answers he needs from God, nevertheless, he seeks him and his desire is for him. And then he keeps on seeking. Now watch this. This is what we've been talking about all 21 days. Knock, seek, knock, ask, knock, and seek and knock. I get that right. Ask, seek, knock. What David says here then in this verse 6 says this. When I think of you as I lie on my bed, I meditate on you during the night watches because you are my helper. I will rejoice in the shadow of your wings. I follow close to you. Your right hand holds on to me. David now seeking him says these words, while I wait in my bed, while I lay in bed at night, and I've done this, maybe you have too, say, Lord, are you going to answer me? I mean, I feel like you're silent, Lord. Where are you? David understands that while God is still silent, he's doing something. And while he waits in the late night hour, the night watch is like in the middle of the night, it says this, because you're my helper, I will rejoice in the shadow of your wing, knowing full well that while my prayer doesn't seem to be answered, you're protecting me from myself or from my circumstances. And in that, I can have hope. I want you to know that God is not silent on your prayer. Sometimes he's waiting for the right moment to bring it about. God has never been silent to those who seek him. When you have a heart like David has here, God will answer you. So my prayer for you today is to seek him with all your heart. And while he may be found, the Bible says. And while you do that, allow the Lord to use this time to shape you, to mold you, to bring you back to where he wants you to be, because that's what he's doing. There are many times in my life where I have not felt like God's answering. It would be later on after I finished praying that I would see the glory of the Lord come and that his protection all along was there. I didn't see it. I didn't feel it, but it never left me. And he never leaves you. Hey, I hope this blesses you today. I wish God's blessing upon you. I wish that God's answer for your prayers would be strong and mighty, that you would see them in the land of the living, that you would honor God with seeking him all day long. And then when you do, to give God glory for what he's done in your life, because that's what you're called to do. And I hope you'll join me tomorrow right here for day 21 of 21 days of fasting and prayer. God bless you, and I look forward to seeing you right here tomorrow. Have a beautiful day.